I recall you when you put in your submission for the state budget, you had what I thought was maybe moderately but reasonably creative suggestion for reform on payroll tax. With a sense of realism, as you're saying, we can't expect it really to be abolished, even though you might like it.
Yeah, no government's going to get rid of payroll tax. That's an egg that we can't unscramble because the revenue is too significant. But we came up with a few ways that we felt, in a strange way, could actually help business, help the state if the government changed some of the rules around payroll tax. The obvious one, the most blunt, if you like, is to lift the threshold where you have to start paying. And that's a bit like giving a tax cut for business, right?
Yep.
So that you're not actually having to pay payroll tax until your payroll increases. There's one for regional centres. We know that in Victoria, for example, if you're in a country region, you pay about a quarter of the payroll tax that the metro businesses do. And we've gone to our government and said, what about we give a 50% discount to the regions? And you might say, well, why would you do that? Well, if you think about an area like the southeast, Mount Gambier, businesses who set up across the border in Victoria can be half an hour out of South Australia, 15 minutes out of South Australia, be paying 75% less in payroll tax than their South Australian neighbours. So if you've got a choice to open up in Victoria or South Australia, you'll open up over there. And we just think that's a ridiculous scenario to be in. So we're asking for a discount there. There's a couple of other things we've done too. We know that, and you have Blair Boyer on, we know that businesses need skilled people. But to my point earlier, the more people you're employing, the more you're likely to start paying payroll tax, and it becomes very expensive. So we've suggested the government looks at businesses who employ graduates, trainees, apprentices into their business. They don't pay payroll tax on that group. Maybe it's 12 months, maybe it's 2 years, maybe it's the lifetime of their apprenticeship, traineeship, who knows. But that there's an exemption or a waiving of payroll tax for those graduates and young trainees to get those skilled people in.
Okay, that's interesting, because I've seen recently, I think, some analysis saying that in a couple of decades we're going to need about 80% of our workforce with either a university or a vet type qualification if we're to remain competitive and internationally productive.
We are, and look, to be honest, it's probably not we're going to need more lawyers or accountants. We are going to need more, engineers and STEM, science type based occupations, and certainly more plumbers, electricians, etc., that might specialise in certain areas, because we know that we have the submarine project ahead of us. We know we've got renewables project to the north of the state. We know we've got big infrastructure projects. We've got a hospital to build. And we need to build houses for all these workers to live in. Now, if you think about all those projects, good luck getting your bathroom renovated, because you're not going to be able to find too many tradies available to do that work when they're getting paid top dollar to do these other projects for you.
But